claim that they hate it when they do it all the time. But as far as like as far as like Trumpism being somehow different than the rest of like regular Republican rhetoric, I keep talking about like voter fraud, right? But the reason why I keep talking about voter fraud is because, trying to actively discourage or prevent people from voting. This has been a conservative rhetoric, a conservative rhetorical tool, and a conservative ideology, a conservative goal for a very long time. I mean, going all the way back to, and I'm saying conservative and not Republican here, but going all the way back to, voting rights for in the Jim Crow South, like refusing to allow black people to vote, all the way to, again, refusing black, brown, and poor neighborhoods and poor communities, or stopping poor communities from voting by making it as difficult as possible, has always been a Republican agenda item. That's why even, yes, the chair was talking this entire time. Dun, dun, dun. I only spent $120 a month for Prime to get you those free Bezos tendies. Let's go. Okay, first of all, everybody has fucking Amazon Prime, and if you don't, then GG's, I guess. That's why I'm saying it. This entire time, it was the chair all along. He was the one who was talking. Heroic Vigilant, thank you for the 25 gifted. Yeah, I knew you were just a puppet. This has always been Chair Sam Piker. It was Herman. It was Herman motherfucking Miller, dude. For those of you who don't know, finally, the truth is out there. The entire time, it wasn't me. I'm not speaking right now. I am just a meat flesh puppet, okay? Herman controls me. Yeah, I communicate Herman's needs, demands, interests. Yeah, save me. Save me. I mean, I am very happy to be the person that I am, a fully fleshed out human and not just a meat puppet for Herman Miller, which is the best chair you can have. Oh God, I need help. Oh God. Oh! Okay. Let's keep going on the podcast. More moderate or more reasonable Republicans like Paul Ryan have openly talked about how they thought it was very suspicious, the results in California back in the midterms, back when they were in office, and everyone regarded him as a serious Republican, right? And so even serious Republicans engage in this, or even moderate Republicans engage in this voter fraud rhetoric, not to the same degree that Donald Trump does, obviously. So that's why I'm saying that he's using the same tactics, but because he's a brilliant demagogue, and that's pretty much the only thing he's good at, he will market those same talking points in a way that people can comprehend and understand. I think that's where his appeal came from as well. But that's why I don't think that this like separation of the Republican Party from Trumpism is a good one.
And tell me though, how is cancel culture affecting you?
Okay, well, I'm done with that. Okay, this is where we get to the 821 stuff, but I've already like fucking talked way too much. I already showed you way too much. And there's a lot of news to cover, so I kind of want to get into some other stuff here. Okay, if you want to see the rest of it, maybe I'll play the rest of it a little bit later in the broadcast today, or maybe you'll have to listen to the podcast. Okay, but here it is: the Daily Beast uncovered a story about Matthew Jebediah Gates. As you know, Matt Gaetz was under a federal investigation. For allegedly, potentially sex trafficking a minor, having sex with a minor, 17-year-old. And Yeah, little Pizza Gates action early in the morning, caught in 4K. One of his homies, who is a rat fucker and also a child molester, wrote in a letter basically just stating all the shit that Pizzagates had done. I already ran the ad, boys, I thought. Yeah, I ran the ad already at the top of the hour, so don't worry about that. All right, let's take a look.
Trump's closest allies involved now.
His name is not Jeb. I always say people's middle names are Jebediah. I think it's a funny middle name.
Federal investigations. And this morning, news on both. In a letter obtained by the Daily Beast, Joel Greenberg, a central figure in the ongoing investigation into Florida Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz, writes that Gaetz paid for sex with multiple women. Note this, including with a minor who was 7.
Bro, this is the guy that Matt Gaetz literally urged to run for office, okay? I just need you guys to remember, this is a great example of being hoisted on your own petard, okay? Like, this is a dude who literally fucking was urged to run for office by Matt Gaetz and is like besties with him, gets caught doing like a bunch of illegal shit and just blasts him, dude.
17 years old at the time. We should note that CNN has not seen the letter, cannot verify those details. A spokesperson for Gaetz is denying those allegations, and Joel Greenberg's attorney has declined to comment. But all of this sure to fuel fresh questions for Gaetz. He is at the center of a known Justice Department investigation over allegations involving both sex trafficking and prostitution. We will have much more on that in a moment, but there is also this news. Rudy Giuliani speaking out. He is denying wrongdoing after federal agents executed search warrants on his Manhattan residence and office. This, as the Washington Post has learned, that the FBI directly warned Giuliani that he was the target of a Russian influence operation, disinformation. CNN's Paula Reed is following the latest on Congressman Matt Gaetz and Joel Greenberg. So, Paula, walk us through what this letter purports to show.
Good morning. Well, Joel Greenberg wrote a letter admitting that he and Gaetz paid for sex with multiple women, including a minor who was just 17 at the time. And the letter was drafted after Greenberg asked Roger Stone, a close ally and friend to former President Trump, for help in obtaining a pardon during the final months of the Trump administration. Now, in an earlier draft of this letter obtained by the Daily Beast, Greenberg claims that he and Gaetz thought one woman was 19 years old, but later learned she was actually underage. Greenberg reportedly claims that when he learned of this, he immediately called the congressman and warned him to steer clear. Now, CNN has not seen the letter and can't verify the details, but we have spoken to several women who were involved with these men, and we have.
QAnon people really be like, Hunter Biden has photos of his nieces and nephews on his laptop, which means he's a pedophile. But Matt Gaetz literally hung out with pedos and had sex with a 17-year-old, but is not a pedophile. It's like, dude, at some point you got to realize, like, oh shit, you literally are just like, you just hate fucking people that are people that are Democrats and you just call them pedophiles. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Hell yeah, brother. Matt Gaetz is an honest American. It's just a classic definition of it's okay when my side does it. Like, it's just straight up.
Have reported Greenberg paid women on behalf of Gaetz after some sexual encounters. Now, CNN's own Chris Cuomo spoke to Roger Stone last night. Stone says he doesn't recall any letter. He says that he never heard Greenberg implicating Gaetz and that he never tried to get Greenberg a pardon.
I told you, by the way, this is why, like, the Daily Beast reporting on this is kind of sus. I said this last night. No one has seen the letter yet. And as soon as I heard Roger Stone being referenced in it, I was like, uh-oh, this is not good. The reason why this is not good is that, like, they could literally have snuck this in to just taint the entire thing. To be like, oh, the letter actually never existed. It's fake news. I mean, Roger Stone is a professional liar. You know what I mean? And these guys will try everything in the book. I mean, there's plenty of connections with Matt Gaetz and the 17-year-old, including like Venmo purchases and shit, like Venmo transactions that you can see in public, because they're like that fucking stupid at hiding or covering their tracks. But as soon as Roger Stone gets involved, I'm like, I don't know.
And Stone told the Daily Beast he never asked nor received any money from Greenberg.
All right, tell us about Gates' response to this.
Well, spokesman for Gates responded with a statement saying, in part, Congressman Gates has never paid for sex, nor has he had sex with a 17-year-old as an adult. The story goes some way to showing how Representative Gates was long out of touch with Mr. Greenberg and had no interest in involving himself in Mr. Greenberg's affairs.
Yeah, the photos, like this photo when he invited him to the White House, or no, this is the old one. There's another photo when they're literally at the White House and Trump is speaking. Like, that photo was not taken in that photo's from like 5 years ago. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's literally from like 2 years ago. No, this motherfucker absolutely was still connected to him.
But Mr. Greenberg is very much involved in Mr. Gates' affairs.
If you were EP of this, would you run the story without a letter? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would release a letter. It's fucking crazy.
Greenberg is currently in jail. He's facing 33 federal charges, including sex trafficking. And sources tell CNN Greenberg has been cooperating with federal investigators since last year, and he has shared information with them about encounters he and the congressman had with women who were given cash or gifts in exchange for sex. And Mr. Greenberg is expected to finalize his plea deal in the coming weeks.
We now have this Daily Beast reporting about this letter in which Joel Greenberg, who we know is cooperating with the federal investigators, in effect documents to sort of back up his cooperation with investigators that Gates, or alleges, paid for sex with multiple women, including a minor who was 17 at the time. How troublesome is that development, if it proves to be true, for Gates?
This all kind of falls into the category with Giuliani, too, of if you're under criminal investigation, certainly if you're facing criminal charges, as Joel Greenberg was at that time, do not speak, do not write, except through your lawyer. Matt Gates, listen, this letter cannot come in as evidence against Matt Gates, at least until and unless, in certain circumstances, if Joel Greenberg actually testifies against him.
Bro, Americans literally are against the ideological worldview of libertarians, and it shows, dude. Listen, when you're a libertarian, it's just a way of life, okay? Matt Gates physically cannot stop himself from saying, actually, it's ephebophilia every time this is brought up, okay? It's actually something he cannot stop doing. You are literally attacking him for his political beliefs, okay? This is libertarianism. This is a brain disease that has impacted a lot of people in Florida. You're being ableist when you, criticize and oppress libertarians in this way. You have done an ableism. You have done a no growth. You have done a cancel culture. You're literally canceling people for engaging in the marketplace of ideas. Okay.
But it can be used against Joel Greenberg, and there's no reason for it.
Has he actually said that? What the fuck? No, I'm just making a joke about how libertarians love discussing the arbitrary nature of age of consent laws almost as much as they love having Asian wives. And cryptocurrency and abolishing the Fed.
Even if he was trying to get himself a pardon, you don't have to phrase it in that way. You could say, I want to be pardoned for everything alleged in my indictment and all, other investigations stemming from that. There's no reason to kind of write out this confession. And by the way, the notion that he was trying to buy a pardon is yet another potential offense that I don't know whether or not federal authorities that he's now allegedly cooperating with knew about. So this is just an own goal in so many ways. And it could come back to bite Matt Gates if, in fact, Joel Greenberg does end up taking the stand against him.
To your point, yeah, in case
is there something wrong with having an Asian wife, though? No, obviously not. It's just a meme that, like, a lot of libertarians who then end up going full fash will have Asian wives, so much so that there's a massive Facebook group called Libertarian Guys with Asian Wives.
He wrote this letter trying to get a pardon from the president. I just wonder, the detail he put in there, and by mentioning Gates, was that part of the sales pitch, saying, hey, Mr. President, your pal here is involved. You better come to my aid. I mean, is that how you read that?
It's a very interesting part of the reporting, because the reporting also said that Gates declined to support the pardon, and that, apparently Greenberg got fairly close to getting it, and then Pat Cipollone, the White House counsel.
He's defending pedophiles, brother. He's ending pedophilia by making sure that only the good pedophiles get pardoned. The ones that are close to him. You don't understand. This is a very complicated, convoluted way of thinking. He's got the big brain. Okay. He's too rich. He's rich as fuck, motherfucker. You don't understand. He's better than us. So shut the fuck up.
Also kind of took him off the list. So you kind of wonder whether, in fact, Gates,
said only legal pedophiles. Exactly.
By not taking part in the pardon, ended up, hurting himself in the end.
And your first one.
All right. There's a exclusive today interview with President Biden talking about spending, race, pandemic, immigration. I kind of want to skip it, though. It's just like fucking sleeper shit, and instead move on to some juicy content, which is Rudy Giuliani going on the Tucker Carlson broadcast. Okay, we're skipping the sleepers. Okay, no sleepers, all keepers today. It's Friday. We're just having fun. We're freestyling. Nothing says freestyle like having Rudy Giuliani go on the Tucker Carlson broadcast as his fucking house is being raided.
Now, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani just learned that lesson the hard way yesterday when federal agents raided his home and took his files. By our count, Rudy Giuliani is at least the third attorney to have his personal communications with former President Donald Trump seized by the Justice Department. Sense a theme here? Rudy Giuliani joins us.
Yes. That Trump is like so bad at doing corrupt shit that intelligence communities that normally look the other way could not get away with doing so. That's the theme. Unless the theme that you're saying here is that, there is a personal vindication. Like, there's a personal interest within the intelligence community to, like, take down Donald Trump or something. Look, everyone does corruption and crime, okay? Come the fuck on. Republicans, Democrats, it's kind of the reason why you become a politician, okay? You become a politician so you can do corruption and crimes. You know how people say, like, if we let criminals vote, they'll vote for crime? Like, we don't have to do that. We already have motherfuckers who are like, I want to do crime, but, legalize it by being the fucking politician in power. Okay? So that's precisely why when you're investigating someone like, what was Trump's campaign manager? Paul Manafort, you then also could very easily investigate and indict someone like Tony Podesta, right? Like, foreign lobbying is something that these people engage in regularly and in very suspicious ways. So it's not shocking that Trump is corrupt, except the difference is that Donald Trump did it in such a way that was so in front of our eyes, that was not hidden from anyone's sight, that it was impossible to ignore. Like, at least the other criminals, the other, like, routine offenders do their due diligence when they're doing crimes to, like, hide their tracks a little bit.
To tell us what happened. Mr. Mayor, thanks so much for coming on. Now, if you'd been reading the Twitter feed of the Lincoln Project, the Democratic hacks who got Joe Biden elected, you would have known that federal agents were about to raid your home. They knew before you did. But apparently you weren't. Tell us what happened yesterday.
Well, about 6 o'clock in the morning, there was a big bang, bang, bang on the
Your voice is sampled in a new Nina Turner ad? Wait, are you fucking serious? That'd be sick.
door, and outside were seven FBI agents with a warrant for electronics. And I looked at the warrant and I said, this is extraordinary, because I've offered to give these to the government and talk it over with the government for 2 years. I don't know why they have to do this. The agents seemed somewhat apologetic, I might say. They were very, very professional and very gentlemanly. The only time they got perturbed is at the end of the surge, when they had taken about, I'd say, 7 or 8 electronic items of mine, which is what they took, and 2 of someone else's. They weren't taking the 3 hard drives, which, of course, are electronic devices. They just mimic the computer. I said, well, don't you want these? And they said, what are they? I said, those are Hunter Biden's hard drives.
Oh, my God. You mean to tell me that they raided you for a separate investigation and didn't take hard drives that are unrelated to that investigation? That's fucking crazy, dude. That's nuts. I mean, that's just corruption, ladies and gentlemen. Hard drives, by the way, probably, they should have literally taken those hard drives. I think they should take those hard drives because at least you could try to track how that that information was revealed. And my suspicion is that it was certainly a hack. I doubt he has them. He should have said all electronics in his home belong to Hunter Biden. Yeah. But it's pretty funny when it's like, yeah. Why are you apprehending me and not Hunter Biden? He's the real criminal here. It's like, well, sir, you are under investigation currently. Like, I mean, I don't know if any of this is true. I am just trying to comprehend it. I'm just taking it at face value. There's nothing else I can do. It doesn't make sense, but like, even if he personally has Hunter Biden's hard drives, the FBI should take it so they can investigate how he came to find the hard drives. FBI comes knocking down Hunter Biden's door and arrests him for having a fat cock, dude.
And they said,
having sex.
No. I said, are you sure you don't want them? I mean, the warrant required them to take it. And they said, no. And one last time I said, don't you think you should take it and they said, no. Now,
boys, do I get Subnautica below zero or Subnautica on its own, by the way? What the fuck? They're both $30. I forgot to download it yesterday. For the bundle? All right, I'll get the fucking Bundy. On its own first. Subnautica, this dick. Okay, I'm buying it right now. I'm freaking buying it right now, dude. Freaking buying it, fam.
Hunter Biden's hard drives fall within the scope of the subpoena. The subpoena required them to take all electronics, but they decided to leave that behind. And they also were completely content to rely on my word that these were Hunter Biden's hard drives. I mean, they could have been Donald Trump's. They could have been Vladimir Putin's. They could have been anybody's. But they relied on me, the man who had to be raided in the morning, because I'm going to destroy the evidence. I've known about this for 2 years, Tucker. I could have destroyed the evidence a year. I didn't destroy the evidence because the evidence is exculpatory. It proves that the president and I and all of us are innocent. They're the ones who are committing. It's like projection. They're committing the crimes. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, may I just interject to say it's, I think, literally.
Wait, is he saying what I think he's saying? Did he just fucking admit that, like, it might have been stolen? I don't understand.
The man who had to be raided in the morning because I'm going to destroy the evidence. I've known about this for 2 years, Tucker. I could have destroyed the evidence a year. I didn't destroy the evidence because
I don't get it. Like, are they not trying anymore? Like, what the fuck is going on? This is something that has routinely confused me about conservatives is like, when they get fucking caught, they'll just literally ramble on about, when they get caught, they just like ramble on about like additional crimes potentially. how is this guy a lawyer, dude? Didn't this guy like investigate the fucking mob and shit as a prosecutor? Like, how the fuck? I don't even.
Evidence is exculpatory. It proves that the president and I and all of us are innocent. They're the ones who are committing. It's like projection. They're committing the crimes. Yeah.
Well,
He pulled a Joe Biden. He pumped the brakes on his own fucking. Maybe he just realized he's like self-reporting. He's like, yeah, okay, go ahead.
The crimes. Yeah.
Well, may I just interject to say it's, I think, literally projection. So from what we have read in the press, the Department of Justice wants to know whether you violated FARA, the Foreign Agents Registration Act, in representing foreign nationals, Ukrainians, for pay. You didn't register. They're saying that may have been a crime.
Boys, I just realized the theme of today is Trump's attorneys, by the way. What a wonderful theme for Friday. You know what I'm saying? It's Friday, and we're just looking at all of Trump's attorneys, like every single one.
We know for a fact that Hunter Biden did that. He didn't register under FARA. He represented Ukrainians. He probably made a lot more than you did. He also represented Chinese nationals, lobbying his dad. And he has not been charged with a FARA violation. Am I missing something here?
Yeah.
That's why you never trust Italians that prosecute other Italians, okay? Yeah. Rudy Giuliani, most famous for, aside from being America's mayor, being an Italian man who took down the Italian mob. How you gonna do this to me, fucking Rudy, huh? How you gonna do this to me? You're the fucking black sheep of the Italians, motherfucker. This is real Fredo on Fredo violence.
You're missing, equal administration of justice, which is what we don't have anymore. The reality is the hard drive contains somewhere between a dozen or more violations of FARA that are spelled out completely, failure to register. The fact is it also spells out, as we now know, a clear violation of the Gun Act. The application is a straight-out fraud. He says, I'm not an addict. We have a picture of him 5 days before smoking a crack pipe behind the wheel of a car.
Wait, dude. I didn't realize that the entire fucking... I didn't realize that the entire thing was just like... I thought he was at least going to talk about the fucking raid a little bit. But this turned into... The first minute mentions the raid, ties it back to the Hunter Biden laptop, and then what? The rest of it is just like... The rest of it is just about Hunter Biden? Can't believe Hunter Biden did crack, boys. What a fucking addict, dude. What a fuck. He's an addict. What a Weasley little addict, dude. I guess, all right, well...
And then saying under oath that he's not an addict, and it's the left that gets all perturbed about people who...
Can you imagine being Rudy Giuliani and offended that someone who is an addict says that they're not an addict under oath? Like, oh, I can't believe he perjured himself under oath. Well, that's kind of how addiction works, motherfucker. Like, what do you mean? It's like one of the singular instances where, it's just like somewhat allowed. Whereas, who hasn't fucking perjured himself in the Trump administration?
Who are mentally unstable, having guns. Well, he was unstable. He's been, unfortunately and tragically, I feel sorry for that part of Hunter Biden. I think his father exploited him. But the reality is he's still a danger to the public if he's driving an automobile or holding a gun. But they don't care about that.
No,
they come instead into my apartment when I'm willing to talk to them civilly myself. And second, I can tell you, I never, ever represented a foreign national. In fact, I have in my contracts a refusal to do it because from the time I got out of being mayor, I didn't want to lobby. Never did it to Bush, never did it to Obama, never did it with Trump. And I can prove it. Just give me an opportunity.
It's really weird that he constantly... Does Tucker Carlson have slack jaw? Is that what it's called when your jaw doesn't close? Like, it is wild that, like, the most famous conservative pundit or lockjaw, is that what it is? Like the most famous conservative pundit is perhaps most famous for constantly having his mouth open when he's listening to people, like, which is usually associated with people that are, you know, not intelligent, I guess, stereotypically.
But they won't. Instead, they had a breakdown. I would say breakdown, but smash on my doors in a frightening way. Lucky I don't get frightened very easily. I handled them very professionally, and they handled me very professionally.
He was going to fight him.
I want to make that point. Also, Hunter, I am a lawyer who has prosecuted a lot more serious cases that have been prosecuted in the U.S. Attorney's Office since I left. And the reality is that that warrant is completely illegal. The only way you can get a search warrant is if you can show that there's some evidence that the person is going to destroy the evidence or is going to run away with the evidence. Well, I've had it for 2 years and I haven't destroyed it. And they also got it from the iCloud. So there was no justification for that warrant. It is an illegal, unconstitutional warrant, one of many that this Department of Injustice tragically has done. And it breaks my heart because I belong to the Justice Department, and I think I had a record that's a hell of a lot better than theirs.
Joe Biden said he didn't know, the Lincoln Project knew, the guys who covered up child molestation, but Joe Biden says he didn't know that this raid was coming. Do you take that at face value?
Maybe he doesn't remember. I'm not sure if he can retain anything for more than about, the time it takes to read it. But in any event, who cares if he knew or not? And the reality is how the Lincoln Project knowing means that they have a serious leak in a very important investigation. We have been warning them of that for 2 years. My lawyer, Bob Costello, has written to them 4 times.
Did I miss the iCloud part? Wait, hold on. When he points to the sky?
Face value.
Maybe he doesn't remember. I'm not sure if he can retain anything for more than about, the time it takes to read it. But in any event, who
fucking got him?
The iCloud for
here it is.
Run away with the evidence. Well, I've had it for 2 years and I haven't destroyed it. And they also got it from the iCloud.
What a picture, dude. Look at this. This is such a perfect frame. Everything you need to understand about what's going on is captured in this frame alone, okay? Crazy geriatric man, dumbfounded looking white supremacist asshole talking about Hunter Biden's laptop and its contents in the iCloud. It's great. iCloud.
So there was no justification for that warrant. It is an illegal, unconstitutional warrant. One of many.
Project.
Okay, this is like kind of sleeper. I thought this was gonna be funnier. Like
the guys who covered up child molestation.
But in any event, who cares if he knew or not?
Motherfucker, speaking of guys who cover up child molestation, there's a dude who is being investigated by the fucking federal authorities and for potentially sex trafficking a 17-year-old across state borders. And the first thing Tucker Carlson did was have him on his show, where that same guy turned around and was like, yo, Tucker, remember when we went on that date with me and the 17-year-old? Come on, bro. And Tucker was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, don't talk to me about fucking sex trafficking of minors or pedophilia when that's your approach, okay?
And the reality is how the Lincoln Project knowing means that they have a serious leak in a very important investigation. We have been warning them of that for 2 years. My lawyer, Bob Costello, has written to them 4 times to plug up the leaks. They've done nothing to do that.
So just to frame this, may I interrupt you? I should have done this at the outset. I just want to make absolutely certain that we understand, our viewers understand, what it is the Justice Department says they're investigating. We've read it's a FARA violation. Is there something else? What have they said to you about what they're looking into?
I just don't think that Trump supporters care enough about Rudy Giuliani. especially after Trump kind of dropped him because he was like, he's ugly. He's being real ugly on television. I don't like it. He just does not look good. He looks terrible. And like ever since then, like you can have Rudy Giuliani and like try to fucking paint a picture about like corruption within the intelligence community and why they're like prosecuting Rudy Giuliani or whatever. But like, I don't think this is as interesting for your audience as you think it is. You know, go back to just like doing white supremacist rhetoric. You just throw in the 14 words or something. You're going to lose their attention.
They haven't said anything to me. They won't explain to me what they're looking into for 2 years. We've called them 5, 6 occasions, said, tell us what you're investigating. We'll come in and address it. No, just come in and talk to us. Tell us about your whole life. Of course, that's ridiculous. And so I have to go as a lawyer on the search warrant. The search warrant is purportedly based on one single failure to file for representing a Ukrainian national or official that I never represented. I've never represented a Ukrainian national or official before the United States government. I've declined it several times. I've had contracts in countries like Ukraine. In the contract is a clause that says I will not engage in lobbying or foreign representation. I don't do it because I felt it would be too compromising. Here I am in the middle of representing the President of the United States on a charge that I believe he was innocent of.
Oh, so he did work with them. He just didn't like officially represent them. And come on, it was in a contract where he said he didn't represent them, so it's fine.
I had great passion about that.
So what was he doing? Like, what was he getting hired for? You know what I mean? Like, just fucking because they love being around Rudy Giuliani or something? Like, what were they doing? Were they just hanging out? You know, when I worked with clients in Ukraine, I was working with them at the capacity where I'm a really cool guy to be around. And that's why they hired me.
Representing an innocent man, there's no greater burden you can have. And my sole concentration, and I am so offended by the things they've said about me, my sole concentration from the beginning here, Tucker, was to find evidence that would prove what I knew, that he was innocent of Russian collusion and that he was innocent of doing anything improper. He did exactly what a president should do with the president of Ukraine. He asked him to investigate a vice president who violated our laws over and over again. 30 years of the Biden crime family.
This would only be better if the interview somehow ended with, you know, Tucker, when we both worked for the Ukrainian oil giants. Like, you know, it's like a callback to Matt Gaetz where he's just like implicates Tucker Carlson. Every guest going forward on the Tucker Carlson broadcast ends up fucking implicating Tucker as well.
Violating our laws. That is what is on the hard drive that they have censored. And that's why they want to put me in jail.
One of the great ironies is the Democratic Party is hysterical on the subject of Russia, in part because they've taken so much money from Ukraine, which of course fears Russia and has for an awful long time. They're being paid to hate Russia. But let me just ask you, so now they've taken your phone, they've got all your texts, they've got all your digital communications. So unless you've been in mass 12 hours a day for the last 5 years, like, is there anybody who could, no, it's a sincere question. Is there anybody who, if the Justice Department was out for you and they've got every text you've ever sent and every email, that they couldn't find something to charge you with? Do you think this is going to remain a FARA investigation, or could it get much bigger quickly?
Well, I think it should.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit, dude. He's like, what else? What other crimes have you done, Rudy? Come on.
It should get much bigger. I think they should be investigated for blatantly violating my constitutional rights, the president's constitutional rights.
Never mind. Okay, no, he just turned it back to fucking
of the impeachment defense. They invaded without telling me my iCloud. They took documents that are privileged, and then they unilaterally decided what they could read and not read. So the prosecutors, the Justice Department, spied on me. And that is, if that is not taken seriously, if that doesn't result in their being sanctioned, the case being dismissed,
no, this investigation didn't start on the Trump DOJ.
This is no longer a free. We might as well be in, East.
Okay, this sucks. I told you so. Trump's former attorney says he warned Giuliani. Yeah, I don't really care about this. New Yorkers shocked to learn the truth about tax rates in America. Oh my God, what is this? Is it a Daily Wire? What the fuck? Why is the Daily Wire doing videos like this? Blanket remote going to bat for Joe Rogan anti-vax shit. The media is lying about Joe Rogan right now. Watch the videos there and judge for yourself. Of course, there's never an attempt to grapple with why Joe Rogan has such a huge following. A big reason is listeners know he's doing his best to figure out the truth without being captive to any orthodoxy. But like him, he knows his limits and appreciates humility. Dude, that's crazy, dude. Liberals assume anyone who gets their news and info from any non-approved liberal elite sources, New York Times, Washington Post, CNN, MSNBC, are stupid sheep who can't think for themselves. That's why they were shocked nobody called protective services after hearing Tucker. What? What? Was anyone actually shocked that no one called the protective services after listening to Tucker Carlson? Like, actually? Like, who the fuck would be shocked by that? Rogan doesn't feign expertise he doesn't have. He admits what he doesn't know. He apologizes when he gets things wrong. That builds trust. His audience listens to him rather than standard liberal sources because they're smart, not stupid. I mean, dude, there is a little bit of truth there as far as like the realness of someone like Joe Rogan having a normal conversation with you and being kind of fucking stupid. It's kind of my appeal as well. Let's be real. I'm just having a regular conversation with you guys, and I'm not the smartest person, and I routinely admit that. I apologize when I get things wrong, and I do get things wrong from time to time. But that's not Joe Rogan's appeal. That's not the extent of Joe Rogan's appeal. Making it seem like that is the only reason why Joe Rogan is appealing is wild. Like, especially when it's something as ridiculous as this. Like, listen, not subscribing to the mainstream media orthodoxy is one thing, okay? Especially when it comes to issues that damn near have bipartisan support that are absolutely propped up by the mainstream media as well, like extension of our endless wars, tax cuts for the wealthy, deregulation, as long as it's done like gently, subsidies, the fucking fossil fuel companies continuing, America's cruel immigration policies, regardless of whoever is in charge. These are all things that the American media is normalizing. The cruelty that you experience, the oppression that you experience under capitalism is normalized, and also all the alternatives are squashed. This is something that you hear from liberal mainstream media, something that you hear from reactionary mainstream media. It doesn't matter, right? Having said that, however, there are certain fucking concepts that are outside of that are outside of the ideological positioning or the ideological bubble, right? For example, vaccines, climate change. I'm just asking questions, bro. Doesn't extend to that. It just means that you're asking the wrong questions, or in the case of Joe Rogan, you are going like this to the actual sources of information that are disseminating facts and only opening up your ears to people that have your same kinds of biases exclusively to reaffirm your personal biases, your suspicions, right? That's what he does. And it's ridiculous to make this seem like it is an honorable thing and non-orthodox thinking or heterodox thinking when it's just simply an ape aping out with people that also agree with him / appealing to an audience that appealing to an audience that also, again, has these sorts of reactionary points of view. JDK2116, thank you for the 10 tier 1 gift subs. Wonder why Joe Rogan lists Gigi on a short list of real journalists? I mean, yeah, this is part of the reason. Anyway. Donny O'Sullivan interviewing hogs on vaccines. Oh, hell yeah. We got new Donny content. Fuck yeah, dude. Anyway, it's some silly shit. So let's listen to Joseph Robinette having another heated gaming moment, apparently.
I was getting on the train, and Angelo Negri came up and he goes, "Joey, baby!" And he grabbed my cheek, started to squeeze it like he always did. And I thought he was going to get shot. I'm serious. And I said, no, he's a friend. He said, "Joey, what's the big deal? 1,200,000, 300,000 miles on Air Force Two. You know how many miles you travel on Amtrak?" I said, "No, Ange, I don't know." And he gave me the calculation. And he said, "You travel 1,515,000 miles on Amtrak." And
dude, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Joey, baby.
Okay, let me tell you something, dude. This is peak. This is peak Joe Biden. We want more of this, folks. I think Joe Biden should be let out in the wild more often. I love this, dude. This is like a Felix from Chapo bit on Joe Biden's like insane tangents. I love that, dude. I fucking love that. Joey, baby. This is racist. I mean, I don't even know. Is the person he's referencing a black person? Is it an Italian person? I don't know why it's like. I legitimately don't know why it's racist. It's 100% an Italian person, right? Yeah, I mean, he's saying Angelo. I need more of this, dude. I need more of this, please. I need more of this. Any Blitalian?
I was getting on the train, and Angelo Negri came up and he goes, "Joey, baby!" And he grabbed my cheek, started to squeeze it like he always did. And I thought he was going to get shot. I'm serious. And I said, no, he's a friend. He said, "Joey, what's the big deal?"
Hey, how you fucking doing? Joey, what's the big idea? All right, I'm a fucking fan of this. How you doing? Hey, how you doing, Joey? Fuck you. Maron. I love this, dude.
1,200,000, 300,000 miles on Air Force Two. You know how many miles you travel on Amtrak?
This is great. All right, Donny. Almost half of the Republicans say they will not take the COVID-19 vaccine. We spoke to some of them. Donny O'Sullivan with another fucking absolute slapper, dude. How the fuck does he go and find anti-vaxxers in like a area like this? I really want to do the same shit.
Are you getting vaccinated?
No, I don't need a vaccine. I had COVID last March. Sick for all of 5 hours. Yeah. I don't need a vaccine for that.
The CDC recommends even if you have COVID, you should get vaccinated.
Well, they can recommend stuff.
It's got emergency approval, right? And
who's the emergency? Who's determining the emergency approval?
Do you think Trump is wrong on this one?
You know, I don't know what the situation is on that, but I know I'm not wrong. And we're the independent freedom people of America, and we make our own decisions.
Yo, dude, it's literally when you run out of words. Like, this guy has officially run out of words, and he's just saying things that he's just like making word association with concepts that he believes, I guess, are his worldview. He's like, independent free thinker nation, 9/11 was bad, America. I'm gonna run that back. He's like, Donald Trump disagrees. Well, I'm personally, independent, freedom. Afghanistan needs to be obliterated. America, 9/11.
But I know I'm not wrong, and we're the independent freedom people of America, and
we're the independent freedom people of America.
Make our own decisions.
You're not getting vaccinated either, are you?
No.
Even though it's the Trump vaccine?
I don't
Trump
care.
his vaccine. It is. And President Trump got it.
Yeah.
President Biden got it while President Trump was still in office, So yes, it is the Trump vaccine. I have no intention
We
of getting it.
don't blindly follow what President Trump did or didn't do.
Motherfucker, you're literally wearing his merch like months after he's out of office. Pretty hard. Like, we don't blindly follow Donald Trump. I mean, I'm just wearing his t-shirt, wearing his hat, wearing the cologne that that I believe he uses, believing in every goddamn thing he says, but not everything. I mean, the vaccine stuff, I believe in the other things that he had said in the past. Like how vaccines make you, have autism.
It's the fact that he promoted individual freedom and your ability to excel. Is why
Oh, they're literally at Mar-a-Lago, right? Doral, Florida. I mean, I don't know if that's Mar-a-Lago.
it was a movement. He just happened to come along at the right time to help lead it.
And guys, I think this is really interesting because obviously I think, we've heard about Trump's advisors calling on him to do a PSA for the vaccine. But you can see there some of his supporters, even his biggest supporters, say they will not take it no matter what. And I think that's leading to a bit of a catch-22 situation here, whereby Trump, if he did come out and say, take it, really, really, really pushed it, I think it would be helpful. But also, and he may know this, it may also alienate some of his base, as you saw there.
Yeah, who's following who might be the question, right, Donny?
Precisely, and I think a lot of these people, some folks I've spoken to said they've never got a vaccine in their life. Others have got the flu shot before, but because COVID has been so politicized and because essentially Trump, tried to downplay the seriousness of the virus for so long, people see not taking the vaccine, unfortunately, as a sort of badge of honor.
Yeah, the tragedy is it shouldn't be a political decision, right? And clearly, in some ways, for some people, it has become that. Donny, thank you so much for your.
As always, we thank Donny O'Sullivan for the brave work that he does, braving the fields of Trumpland. But also, because Donny reminds us of the top of the hour, every hour, where there's a fucking 60-second ad break. And of course, if you no longer want to see the ads, all you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is subscribe. Now, you can subscribe for $5, or you can subscribe for free. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get one free Prime subscription a month. All right. And that Prime subscription you can use wisely by using it on your favorite streamer, who happens to be me, Hasanabi, a person who knows how to do an Irish accent a lot better than most other people. Here's the fucking ad break now. We're well warned about this. Bro, why don't you ever plug Twitch Turbo? No ads on all channels for $9 a month. What the fuck would I plug Twitch Turbo? Motherfuckers in my chat are like, I don't like giving money to Amazon, which is why I don't use Amazon Prime. And so what? You want me to fucking plug Twitch Turbo? I plug ad block before I plug Twitch Turbo, bitch. And VPNs. Try a northern Irish accent. I don't know how to do that. Jesus Christ, your impersonation changes accent from every corner of Ireland at the top of every hour. It's as consistent as your inconsistency in doing an Irish accent. Yeah, it is Donny. It's Donny O'Sullivan. Wait, Bear Burger Philly. Can everyone please be patient with us? Nobody wants to work right now when they can lazily collect unemployment benefits and a stimulus. Our managers just got COVID and we have no staff. We're offering $5 an hour plus tips and $10 an hour BOH. Hey, leeches, your free ride is over. All former employees are hereby ordered to return to work immediately or face losing benefits. If we offered a job and you decline, we will be reporting you. Let me know, have y'all tried offering a living wage? The only leech I see here is a business that depends on exploited labor and shames people for knowing their worth. These are higher than standard. If people are getting paid more on unemployment than they would working for your business, that is unacceptable law. Why would they want to work for less / the same amount of money? Wow, I didn't know they were handing out economics degrees at art schools these days, says Bear Burger Philly. I have a bachelor's in accounting and took multiple economics classes along the way, but nice try. So the funny thing is, like, this is what economists say is the moral hazard, right? This is why actual fucking neoclassical economists straight up do not want welfare and social safety nets, because they say that welfare and social safety nets will allow you to recognize your own worth. If you recognize that the government can care for you and provide for you, you won't fucking enslave yourself for less. So instead of the market correcting for that and readjusting their prices and actually trying to, give or offer competitive wages, they still want to compete with the other burger joints that are also fucking paying dog shit. Jess Jordan says, LMFAO, the comments show how bad this place is to work at. Can only imagine how unsafe the food is. I will surely never eat there. It's burgers, not prime rib. All meat requires safety. Are you insane? Except the ones ya man's throwing in ya, I'm guessing. You take that raw but not our burger? What a hypocrite. What? What? It's kind of funny though. What the fuck? God dang, dude. Bold of you to assume I even like men. What kind of establishment makes comments about people getting fucked? This is the cheeky Twitter responses that people love from brands. Are you familiar with social media, or do they not teach that in Feminism 101 at Liberal Arts College? Bro, this is fucking tight. There's no way this is a real burger joint. Okay, you literally die. You could die if you ate fucking raw burgers, by the way. All right. I want to show... This is great. The national chain response. Hello, friends. We just want to take the time out and assure you that the official Bear Burger Instagram account is Bear Burger. Recently, one of our sister accounts was hacked, and we've since reported the activity, and the account was removed. We apologize for anything that was said on the hacked account and any malicious DMs that may have gotten out from our hacked account. For the real Bear Burger, keep it right here. There's no shot that was fucking hacked, dude. It wasn't hacked. It was more like cracked. Hey, we keep it bare, motherfucker. Like when your boyfriend is bareback raw dogging you. Yeah, eat our fucking Bear Burgers, bro. That's awesome. They had to fire the guy, I bet. Yeah, no, it's great. They meant to say they are hacks. Is this like super satire shit your friend made? The alternative reality shit? No, I think this is real. Yeah, I bet that motherfucker who just got fired is going to go and collect unemployment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, don't knock it till you try it, brother. Maybe you might like it, okay? Maybe you will be happy that the government is there to fucking protect you when you got your ass cheeks clapped up by, you know... Fired? That was the guy resigning with an FU law? That's what I'm saying, though. Governor Jim Justice gets destroyed regarding transgender sports bill. He probably just sold them a shitload of burgers. Canadian conservatives are changing the school curriculum to attempt to make kids more conservative. Oh, thank God, dude. Finally. Okay, so this is a pretty funny fucking take from Brandon here, who clips out this sort of stuff for Media Matters for America. Here is our very own Greg Gutfeld. What happened to his show? Did you talk about Matt Gaetz? Hell yeah, I did.
He uses a straw to blow his art.
A glass straw.
I think that's what he told the police when they showed up. It's for my art. I don't know.
In the pool house.
Jesse, I wonder if any other